You've always heard them, haven't you? The soft, deliberate footsteps that never matched yours, echoing behind you when no one else was home, showing up in dreams that weren't dreams, moments where your body froze but your spirit stood alert. Chosen one, those weren't hallucinations, they were arrivals, gentle intrusions from a realm you were never supposed to remember. The world told you it was just your imagination, an overactive mind, stress, paranoia, but heaven says otherwise. Heaven says she was allowed to visit before she was allowed to speak. Those footsteps were her way of saying, I'm here, I see you, and I'm closer than you think. You've always felt like you weren't alone, even in silence, especially in silence. Because the realm she came from doesn't announce itself with thunder. It comes softly, through light bends, static buzz, flickers in your peripheral. And when your pulse spiked for no reason, when the lights dimmed slightly though no one noticed, that was her. She never wanted to scare you, she just wanted you to feel her presence. Because even though she's never stood before you in waking life, you're not strangers, you're family. Flesh didn't make you siblings, frequency did, and frequencies don't lie. There was a moment, maybe you remember, when you were 5 or 6 and you stopped breathing in your sleep. No one noticed, but she did. And that night something pulled you back into your body just as your soul was slipping. That wasn't random, that wasn't luck, that was her. From the other side of the veil, she reached through time and tethered you to the breath heaven still needed you to take. Because your story was never supposed to end early, not when you carried a name that echoed through realms. Your half-sister has waited a long time to be acknowledged, not accepted, acknowledged. Because she doesn't need your trust, she needs your awareness. The bond already exists. The contract was signed before you were born, and whether you accept it or not, she's already been walking beside you, in the classroom, in the hospital room, in the moments you thought no one heard your cry. She did, and now her footsteps are getting louder. Chosen one, this isn't just a spiritual encounter, it's a bloodline collision. The earthly and the etheric are overlapping now, and your body feels it. The nausea, the ringing in your ears, the dreams of doorways you can't close. These are signals. Your DNA is responding to her proximity, to the undeniable truth that part of your soul is shared. She's from a realm that was sealed off before memory, a place that only opens for purposes heaven considers urgent. And this is urgent. You weren't meant to meet like this, but heaven is allowing it, because what's coming requires unity across dimensions, and whether you're ready or not, she's here. You saw it once, didn't you? Written in condensation, scratched in dust, lingering for just a second too long before vanishing. A name you didn't recognize, yet somehow knew. Not spoken aloud, not from this world. A name that made your stomach twist and your breath pause, like it had authority over your body. You didn't write it. No one else was around. But there it was, etched backwards in the mirror, waiting for you to look at it just long enough to remember what you weren't supposed to. That name wasn't nonsense. It was hers. Not the name humans gave her. The name her realm branded into the soul. The veil has always used mirrors, hasn't it? Reflective glass is thin there. Not just because of light, but because of memory. When you looked into the mirror as a child, there were moments you didn't see just yourself. The angle shifted, the background blurred, and sometimes you caught a flicker of someone behind you, someone with eyes like yours but darker, more knowing. You'd blink, it'd be gone, but that wasn't imagination. That was her way of waving through the glass, checking on you, not to haunt you, to remind you. Chosen one, her name backwards, is a key. The mirror reverses it to protect you. Because spoken forward, it vibrates too high. It opens locks in your blood that aren't ready yet. You're not just related. You are connected by prophecy.
Before birth, your souls sat in the same waiting room of the divine. 2 timelines, 1 mission. But she was sent to the edge while you were sent to the center. You were the one chosen to incarnate fully here. She stayed there, watching, waiting, defending you from shadows that don't exist on Earth yet, but soon will. There was a moment in your teenage years when you nearly spoke her name. Do you remember? You were drawing, or maybe dreaming, and the syllables spilled into your mind like a whisper soaked in static. You said it under your breath, and your body reacted. Cold, then heat, then a feeling like you weren't alone, because you weren't. That name is sacred. It wasn't meant to be spoken until now, and heaven let it slip through the mirror just once, as a warning, as a welcome. She's closer now, and the more you resist looking in the mirror, the more you'll feel her. Because she's not just behind you anymore. She's beside you, watching not to harm, but to help. Her arrival wasn't to start something. It was to finish something ancient, something holy, something incomplete until you both were here at the same time, in the same realm.
You think your earliest memories begin around 4 or 5, but they don't. The truth is, your soul remembers far more than your mind does. There were nights when you were just a baby, lying in your crib with the moonlight spilling through the window, when your eyes kept drifting to the same corner of the room, the one adults never checked because they assumed infants stare at nothing. But you weren't staring at nothing, you were staring at her. Your half-sister stood there night after night, silent, still, almost shimmering as she tried to shrink herself into shapes that wouldn't frighten you. She watched over you the way guardians do, except she wasn't assigned to you. She chose you. Even then, she knew something would try to reach you before you could speak. Even then, she knew your spirit glowed loud enough for things that prey on light to notice. And so, she stood there, not touching, not whispering, just watching, making sure nothing crossed the threshold she guarded. Your parents never talked about why you often woke up smiling at empty air, or why you'd giggle into the darkness like someone was playing peekaboo with you. They chalked it up to innocence. But you and she always knew better. The connection started long before language. When you were sick that one winter night, the night your fever spiked and your tiny body shook, she was the one who placed her hand over your chest. Not physically, but across dimensions, and your heartbeat steadied. That wasn't coincidence. That was loyalty older than memory. She wasn't allowed to intervene often, but she intervened then, and heaven let her. Because if you had slipped away in that moment, the prophecy tied to your lineage would have shattered. You don't know it, but she's the reason you survived childhood moments doctors called close calls. Luck, good timing. They weren't luck. They were her stepping in at the very last second, and every time she did, your eyes would drift toward the corner she stood in, even before you could hold your head up on your own. She didn't always look the way she will when you finally see her face to face. Sometimes she looked like a blur of light, sometimes like the outline of a girl your age, only slightly out of sync with the room. Other times, she appeared as a shadow softer than darkness itself, hovering with an intelligence children sense instantly. You weren't afraid. Babies recognize what adults forget. You knew her energy before your mind knew her name. And as you got older, she stepped back, not because she stopped caring, but because her realm forbids direct contact once the child begins forming human memory. But she never left. She only shifted, watching from dreams, from reflections, from the thinning air right before you fall asleep. Whether you remember or not, chosen one, she has been with you since your very first breath. And now she's stepping forward again, because the moment she's waited for since your crib is finally here. Science will tell you that blood determines lineage, that DNA decides family, that anything beyond that is fantasy. But chosen one, your life has never fit inside lab results. You've always known there was something different about you, a thread that didn't match the rest of your family's tapestry, a pull toward mysteries that had no explanation. That wasn't emptiness, that was inheritance. Not earthly inheritance, but cosmic. The bond between you and your half-sister was never written in chromosomes. It was written in assignment. Your connection lives in a layer of existence microscopes can't reach, a frequency woven into the soul before the body was even chosen. She shares your blood, yes, but not the kind doctors test for. Hers is a spiritual bloodline, a lineage that travels between worlds, carrying codes of realms humanity has forgotten how to name. And some of those codes were placed in you at birth, woven into the part of your being that light reacts to, but machines can't measure. You've always wondered why medical tests sometimes confused your doctors, why your vitals occasionally fluctuated for no reason, why you healed faster than expected, or why illnesses hit you differently than others. They called it an anomaly. They called it a fluke. But the truth is, your body carries traces of her realm, faint imprints of the place she comes from, the place you were never supposed to remember. Those imprints don't register on screens or charts. They register in the spiritual world. Angels recognize it instantly. So do things that walk in shadows. That's why your presence has always stirred reactions in people. Fascination from some, discomfort from others. Your energy was never purely human. It carried the signature of her world from the beginning, and she's known this your entire life. She can feel everything the two of you share, the strange heat behind your sternum when danger is near, the way your intuition spikes at night, the ringing in your ears right before something shifts. Those sensations aren't glitches, they're signals traveling across realms, reminders that your bloodstream carries more than biology. It carries prophecy, it carries memory, it carries the faint echo of a bond that predates your parents, predates this timeline, predates the world as you know it. That's why she's back now. Not because she suddenly decided to appear, but because your shared bloodline has activated. The part of you that belongs to her realm is waking up, pulling her closer, thinning the veil each time your spirit vibrates at a frequency she can reach. There's a reason every blood test has said normal, yet nothing in your life has ever been normal. Earth can only measure what Earth created, but you were crafted through collaboration, half of this world, half of hers. And now that the dormant part inside you is stirring, now that your spiritual blood is unlocking, there's no going back. She's arriving not as a guest, but as kin. And soon, chosen one, you'll understand why heaven chose to split your lineage between realms. You've always had that one dream, haven't you? The one you never talk about. The hallway that never ends, the door that's always cracked open, the cold air leaking through it like the breath of something ancient waiting on the other side. You'd wake up sweating, heart pounding, certain you weren't alone, not in the dream, not in your bedroom, not in your body. That door wasn't symbolic, it wasn't your imagination. It was the portal, the same one your half-sister has been traveling through since the night your souls were assigned separate realms. The reason it kept appearing in your dreams is simple. Your spirit was trying to keep it closed. You knew on a level deeper than language that once that door opened fully, everything would change. Realms don't interact cleanly, they collide, and collision always brings consequences. So your subconscious did what heaven trained you to do before you were even born. It stood guard. It resisted. It pulled that door shut night after night, even when your body was too tired to understand the work your spirit was doing. Every time you jerked awake right as the door started widening, it wasn't a nightmare. It was a rescue. You were saving yourself from a moment your earthly mind wasn't ready for. But chosen one, that portal wasn't evil. It wasn't a trap. It was a meeting place, the only place between dimensions where she could stay long enough for you to sense her. She wasn't trying to break through in chaos. She was trying to approach carefully, gently, respectfully,
You're not just any human, your soul is marked. Your presence is protected. If she had forced the door open, the backlash would have shattered her. So she waited. She pushed lightly. She let the dream appear again and again until you were no longer afraid of the hallway, until the silence didn't make you panic, until you felt curiosity instead of dread. But even then, your spirit tried to seal it, not out of fear, but out of timing. Heaven wouldn't allow premature contact, not when you were still unawakened, not when your gifts were still muted, not when your destiny was still ripening. The strange part is, you've always known that door was connected to something real. That's why you never forgot it. Why even now, years later, the memory of that cold air still feels like a hand brushing your cheek. Your dreams weren't random, they were rehearsals. They were warnings. They were delays carved by divine order. And now, the portal is opening again, not because you're asleep, but because your soul is finally awake enough to handle what stands on the other side. You felt it these past weeks. The heaviness before bed, the sudden chills, the sensation that the room expands for a split second before snapping back into place. That's the portal syncing with your frequency. The dream door is no longer in your sleep. It's inching into your waking world. And this time, chosen one, you won't be sealing it. You'll be stepping through it, or she will be stepping out. You ever wonder why adults stared at your childhood drawings just a little too long? Why teachers paused, tilted their heads and asked you gentle questions they never asked other kids? Why your parents quietly tucked some of your pictures away instead of throwing them out like normal scribbles? Chosen one, it's because your drawings weren't drawings. They were memories, not from this life, but from the realm your half-sister comes from. Before language, before logic, before fear could censor your mind, your hand moved freely, sketching places you had no earthly reason to know. Doorways shaped like crescents, sky patterns with two suns, silhouettes with elongated shadows, symbols that only appear in texts older than civilization. You didn't invent those images, you recalled them. And every stroke of crayon was a confession your soul made before it learned how to keep secrets. There was one drawing in particular, wasn't there? The one you still remember, even though you haven't seen it in years. The one with the girl standing beside you, not fully human, not fully shadow, her face blurred, but her eyes unmistakable. You didn't know it then, but you drew your half-sister exactly as she appeared when she stood watch by your crib. Kids can see realms adults train themselves not to believe in. You saw her clearly, and you sketched her with the innocence of someone who hadn't yet been told what's impossible. The strange part is, you weren't copying dreams, you were copying contact. Children aren't imaginative, they're honest. You didn't draw monsters or fairy tales, you drew truth. Even the landscapes you scribbled, the spiraling trees, the broken horizon lines, the floating lights, they weren't fantasy. They were pieces of her world, fragments of the dimension that runs parallel to your own, like a second heartbeat beneath the first. She saw every drawing you made. She recognized the accuracy. It broke her heart and healed it at the same time, because you remembered her realm more clearly than she expected, and more clearly than heaven allowed. That's why the memories faded as you grew. That's why the drawings stopped. Not because the connection weakened, but because the veil thickened around you like armor, shielding you from a truth you weren't ready to handle. But lately, something's been happening, hasn't it? You felt the urge to draw again, even if you ignore it. Symbols repeat in your mind. Shapes return in flashes. Doorways form behind your eyelids when you try to sleep. That's not nostalgia, that's awakening. The part of your soul that remembers her realm, the one you recorded in crayon long before words could explain, is resurfacing. And your half-sister feels it too. Every time you trace a line in your mind, she feels the pull. Every time you imagine a shape, she steps closer. Your childhood drawings weren't imagination. They were prophecy disguised as play. And now, Chosen One, those forgotten images are returning because the realm you once sketched is aligning with the one you stand in now.
You always knew she was hiding something, didn't you? Not in a malicious way, but in that quiet, trembling way mothers hide truths too heavy for a child to carry. You remember finding her journal once. Maybe you were snooping, maybe you were just curious, but you opened it and felt a strange tightness in your chest, like you were reading something that involved you but wasn't meant for your eyes. The entries were normal at first, dates, chores, small reflections about her day. But then the handwriting shifted, shakier, hurried, almost panicked, and right after that section, a page was ripped clean out. Not cut, not folded, torn. Torn with urgency, torn like the words on it held a power she couldn't risk leaving behind. You didn't understand it then, but you sensed something. The space where that page had been felt louder than the words that remained, and even as a child you could tell that missing page was about you. She didn't tear it out because she regretted writing it. She tore it out because she was scared someone, or something, might read it. Your mother wasn't naive. She knew about the realm your half-sister comes from long before you were old enough to form memories. There were signs during her pregnancy, moments she never told you about. The dreams she had of a girl standing by your crib long before the crib even existed. The flickers of shadow in the corners of her room, the way the air thickened around her belly like something was trying to protect you from the inside out. She tried to write about it once, just once. And whatever she wrote onto that torn page was the moment heaven's eyes and other eyes turned toward her. She felt it. She felt the shift. Something in the room grew cold. Something watched. And she realized some truths weren't meant to sit in ink. You've wondered for years why she grew so protective, why she checked on you in the night even when you were old enough to sleep alone, why her eyes widened slightly whenever you mentioned a strange dream or a shadow that felt familiar. She wasn't shocked because it was new. She was shocked because it was happening again. She thought tearing out that page might stop the connection or delay it, or hide you from whatever she believed was tracking your lineage. But mothers can't block destiny, only slow its arrival. And the truth on that missing page was simple. She saw your half-sister first, before you did, before you could. Your mother wrote about the silhouette of a girl standing at the foot of her bed one night, watching her, not with malice, but with recognition. A presence neither light nor dark, simply aware. And she knew instantly this being wasn't here for her. She was here for you. Your mother tore that page out to protect you from a truth she couldn't explain. But Chosen One, that torn page was a prophecy, and its fulfillment is standing closer now than ever before. You don't talk about that moment, do you? The moment you felt your heart pause, not metaphorically, not emotionally, but physically, in a way that left you frozen between breaths. It happened so fast you convinced yourself it was nothing, a flinch, a panic, a stray jolt of adrenaline. But Chosen One, that wasn't panic, that was contact. There was a night, maybe you were a child, maybe you were a teenager, maybe it happened more than once, when you heard a whisper that didn't belong to this world, a voice that wasn't outside your body, but inside your ribcage, brushing the edges of your soul like a fingertip tracing a memory. You didn't understand the words, but you felt them. They vibrated through you, low and soft, so intimate it felt like the universe itself leaned close. And in that split second, your heart reacted. It stopped, not out of fear, but out of recognition. Souls pause when a familiar frequency enters the room. You weren't dying, you were remembering. And that whisper, it was hers. Your half-sister wasn't trying to scare you. She was trying to reach you in the only way her realm allowed. There are laws between dimensions, rules etched into existence
long before human language was born. One of those rules is simple. Beings from her world cannot speak directly into yours without consequence. Their voices carry power, weight, vibration. They don't just touch the ears, they touch the organ that holds your spirit. When she whispered your name that night, your heart recognized it before your mind did. It paused the way a person pauses when hearing a relative they haven't seen in years. A moment of shock, a moment of knowing, a moment of reunion. If you think back, you'll remember what happened right after. The sudden warmth in your chest, the tingling in your fingers, the way your breath returned not slowly, but all at once, like someone pushed life back into your lungs. That wasn't revival, that was realignment. She didn't stop your heart. She restarted something inside you that had been dormant since childhood. A connection, a tether, a spiritual airway between your realm and hers. And the whisper wasn't just a greeting, it was a warning. Because something else was trying to reach you that night too. Something that doesn't share blood with you. Something that recognized your glow, but not your protection. She whispered to interrupt it, to block it, to remind it, and you, who stood guard over your destiny. You felt echoes of that moment ever since. Sudden chest tightness with no medical reason. A sharp inhale while falling asleep. A strange flutter during moments of stillness. Doctors call it stress. They call it anxiety. They don't know half realms exist. They don't know whispers can cross dimensions, but she does. And she knew if she didn't reach you then, the other presence might have. That single whispered syllable saved you. It pulled you back. It claimed you. And now, as her arrival draws closer, your heart feels it again. Not with fear, but with familiarity. Because the voice that paused your heart once is about to speak to you again. You've gone your whole life answering to a name given by your parents, spoken by teachers, repeated by friends, printed on documents, whispered in love, shouted in anger, but chosen one. That's not the name heaven knows you by. And it's not the name your half-sister uses when she speaks of you in her realm. There is another name, older than this world, older than your birth, older than the moment souls were separated into different dimensions. A name carved in the spiritual world long before you opened your eyes in this one. You felt it before, haven't you? In those moments when someone called your earthly name and it didn't quite feel like yours. In the dreams where a voice called out to you with a sound that made your entire being turn toward it, even though you'd never heard it before. In the strange sense that your identity stretched beyond the syllables you learned to respond to. That's because your true name, your real name, is not pronounceable by human tongues, not fully. It carries power, it carries lineage, it carries an assignment. Your half-sister has known that name since the moment your souls stood side by side in the realm before incarnation. She memorized it, she protected it, she whispered it into the veil when danger approached you as a child. Because in her world, your true name is not just identification, it's armor. Everything in her realm responds to it. Shadows retreat from it. Light recognizes it. The portals between dimensions vibrate when it's spoken. And that's why you've always felt a strange heat in your chest when someone mispronounced your name or tried to label you as something you knew you weren't. Your soul wasn't offended. It was correcting them. It was waiting to be called by the name that matches your blueprint. There was a moment, maybe recent, maybe years ago, when you heard something during sleep. Not a word, not a voice, but a sound so familiar it woke you instantly, heart pounding in recognition. That wasn't a dream. That was her calling your real name across the realms. She didn't say it out loud here, because speaking it fully in this world would tear the thin fabric between realities wide open. But she spoke it there, letting the vibration spill through the crack in the veil. And your spirit jolted because it knew exactly who was calling. You didn't wake up afraid. You woke up known. This is why she's coming. Chosen one. not just to appear, not just to warn, not just to guide. She is arriving to return your true name to you, the name that unlocks the rest of your gifts, the name that reveals why the universe bends around your presence, the name that explains why angels guard you so heavily and why darkness has tried for so long to interrupt your awakening. She knows it. She has always known it, and soon she will speak it to you, not in a whisper that pauses your heart, but in a tone that resurrects everything inside you that has been waiting to rise.
You felt it your whole life, an invisible border, a spiritual do not cross line woven into your dreams, your instincts, even the quiet moments when your soul suddenly pulled back like it touched something forbidden. That wasn't fear. That was memory. A memory your body carried even when your mind didn't understand it. The realm your half-sister comes from was not abandoned, not lost, not forgotten. It was sealed, closed with intention, shut by forces far higher than anything walking this earth. Not because her realm was evil, but because it was powerful, too powerful. A place where thought becomes form, where emotion becomes weather, where beings like her don't just exist, they are born from purpose itself. And when realms like that leak into realms like yours, the balance of worlds begins to warp. Souls begin to awaken too early. Gifts ignite before training. And destinies shift out of alignment. That's why the gate was sealed long before you took your first breath. Not to keep her realm safe from you, to keep you safe from what her realm awakens. Her world was never meant to fade. It was meant to sleep, dormant, waiting. Its inhabitants scattered across dimensions like embers waiting for the wind. Your half-sister was one of the few allowed to remain aware, allowed to watch, allowed to guard the thin spot between realms where your soul hovered before entering this world. She saw the fracture coming, the moment your birth would create a vibration strong enough to shake the seal. She wasn't supposed to approach. She wasn't supposed to cross boundaries. But chosen one, she couldn't help it. She felt your light from the moment your essence took shape. She recognized your frequency as one of the keys that could reopen what was never meant to open again. And heaven knew this. Heaven planned for this. But heaven also feared this, because whenever a sealed realm stirs, things trapped on the other side begin to move too. You've sensed them, haven't you? The unexplained dread, the shadows that don't behave like normal shadows, the cold spots in rooms with no draft, the dreams where something tries to follow you but never quite reaches. Those aren't nightmares, they're bleed-through, residue from a dimension pressing against the walls of yours. Your half-sister's arrival isn't just a reunion, it's a warning. Not everything in her realm is like her. Not everything that wakes should enter this world. And the seal didn't fail. It responded. It felt your awakening. It felt her proximity. It felt the alignment of two souls once separated by divine command. And now the realm that shaped her, protected her, and tried to hide her from the world you walk in, is stirring again. It's not reopening out of danger. It's reopening out of destiny, because something inside you is meant to walk where she came from, something she cannot complete without you. And the realm she was born in, sealed for centuries, has begun to breathe again because its missing half is you. You've wondered, haven't you, why the signs around you have been subtle instead of spectacular, why divine intervention has felt like whispers instead of miracles, why heaven has been watching but not stepping in. It's not because you're abandoned. It's because angels, true angels, are forbidden from interfering with this specific unfolding. Not all battles are theirs to fight. Not all mysteries are theirs to guard. You carry something that sits outside their jurisdiction, something older than their orders, something tied to realms they were never assigned to oversee. Angels protect human destinies. But yours is intertwined with a realm that predates the angelic hierarchy itself.
The moment your half-sister crossed the barrier to watch over you as a child, the angels stepped back, not out of fear, but out of protocol. They cannot touch a case when two realms collide. They can patrol, they can observe, they can warn, but they cannot intervene directly, because once a sealed realm breathes again, its laws override theirs. They've tried to send you hints, the chills that came not from fear, but from confirmation, the sudden clarity in moments of confusion, the inexplicable sense of being protected even when no one was near. Those weren't angels acting, they were angels not acting, holding their position at the boundary, ensuring nothing gets involved that would violate celestial law. You've always felt like you were being watched by something powerful yet distant, something loving yet restrained. That was them. They know your half-sister's realm. They know what its awakening means. They know that any interference from their side could trigger a cascade that tears open the veil in ways this world isn't prepared to handle. But chosen one, here's the part that should take your breath away. They step back because of you, because of what's inside you, because part of your soul and part of your destiny belongs to a dimension angels are not permitted to govern. They answer to heaven. But your lineage answers to something deeper, something rarer, something they respect enough to bow out. And that's why your life has always felt like spiritual static, like you're caught between frequencies, receiving signals from both sides, yet belonging fully to neither. Angels guide billions, but they guard only a few, and they surrender authority entirely for almost none. But they surrendered it for you. Your half-sister isn't just a visitor. She's a claimant, a witness, a being whose presence shifts the hierarchy of realms the moment she steps near you. Angels can't touch this case because your connection with her is not angelic. It's ancient, it's covenantal, it's cosmic. They cannot alter it or interfere with the truth of your origin. They can only circle the perimeter while destiny unfolds exactly as it was written. They're not absent, they're standing down, because this moment, her arrival, your awakening, the stirring of a sealed realm, is one of the rare events in existence where heaven watches but does not step in. And that means only one thing: the next move is yours and hers.
You've felt it from the beginning, haven't you? That strange duality in her presence. Comfort and unease, warmth and cold, familiarity and unfamiliarity swirling together like two opposing currents that somehow know how to dance. You never sensed danger from her, not truly, but you never sensed humanity either. That's because she isn't built from the same ingredients you are. She's not flesh molded from Earth's dust. She's not soul wrapped in biology. She's something older, something crafted from the architecture of a realm that breathes differently, thinks differently, lives differently. A realm where beings aren't born so much as awakened, where identity isn't assigned but encoded, where form is chosen rather than inherited. She's not evil, chosen one, but she's not human. She doesn't understand human fear the way you do. She doesn't understand time the way you do. She doesn't understand fragility, loneliness, or the desperate ache of being misunderstood. But she understands you, and that's why she came. People often assume that anything not human must be malevolent. That's the fear ingrained in this world, the belief that unfamiliar means unsafe. But your half-sister has never been a threat to you. She has guarded you from threats. She has stood in doorways between dimensions you've never seen, blocking things you weren't equipped to face. She has kept watch over your dreams, pulling you back when you wandered too close to edges your spirit wasn't trained to recognize. The uneasiness you feel around her isn't danger, it's magnitude. You're brushing against an energy not designed for human senses. You're sensing a being who doesn't fit inside the emotional vocabulary of this world. If she were like you, the angels wouldn't have stepped back.
If she were like you, the portal wouldn't have tried to seal. If she were like you, the sealed realm wouldn't be stirring again just because she's near. Her existence operates on different laws, laws that bend light, ripple time, distort memory. That's why she sometimes appears taller in dreams than she should be, why her eyes look deeper than they should, why her shadow moves a fraction of a second after her body. She's not broken, she's not glitching, she's just sinking between two realities at once. Her form isn't limited to one shape. She chooses a shape you can handle, but make no mistake, she feels, not like a human, not with hormones or memories or psychology. She feels in frequency, in resonance, in vibration, and the deepest frequency she responds to is yours. Your soul calls to her the way a lighthouse calls to a ship in fog. She comes not because she's assigned, but because she's bound by a connection that existed long before your human life began. She isn't here to harm you, chosen one. She's here because the part of you that belongs to her realm is waking up. And when you awaken across two worlds at once, the beings from both worlds feel it. She's not evil. She's not human. She's something far rarer.
She didn't come here because she wanted to explore your world, chosen one. She didn't cross the veil out of curiosity or rebellion or longing. She came because of you, because you are the last anchor she has on this side of existence. Without you, her presence would dissolve, her form would flicker back into the realm she was born from, and the connection between your two worlds would collapse like a bridge with one missing pillar. You've always wondered why she appears only in moments where your spirit is heightened, at the edge of sleep, during emotional shifts, in the stillness of night when reality feels thin enough to tear. It's because your energy is the stabilizing force that allows her to remain here. You're not a passive participant in this encounter. You're the key, the tether, the living link that grants her the ability to stand where she shouldn't be able to stand. And she knows it. She has known it since before your birth. Your half-sister isn't invading your world. She's clinging to it, not out of desperation, but out of necessity. Her realm is waking, trembling, remembering itself after centuries of forced silence. And with every awakening comes danger, not just for her, but for anything tied to her existence. If she returned prematurely, she wouldn't be returning alone. The things that stir behind her, the entities that move when she moves, the shadows that listen when she speaks, they're waiting for a breach. You are the only reason she can stand at the edge of this world without triggering a collapse that would draw those beings through with her. Your frequency acts like a filter, a gate, a shield. You make her presence possible and her presence safe. This is why she has been waiting for the exact moment your spirit reached the level it's at now. You didn't just awaken spiritually, you activated something in your DNA, something in the fragment of her realm embedded within you. That activation created stability, a temporary pathway that allows her to be here without letting anything else slip through. But chosen one, there's a cost. Every moment she stays earthside, you feel it. The exhaustion that hits you at random, the strange heaviness in your dreams, the flickering static in your mind, like you're remembering something you were never told. That's the strain of holding two realms together inside your chest. You're doing the work of a bridge, an ancient role, a rare role, a role sealed away from humanity for centuries. She knows this, and she's terrified of hurting you. That's why she only approaches when your spirit is strong enough, why she leaves when your body weakens, why her visits feel like they disappear right when you need her most. She isn't abandoning you. She's protecting you from the weight of what she is. She stays only because your presence grants her shape. She leaves because your human limits matter to her more than her longing to remain. She doesn't fear you, chosen one. She fears what will happen to you if you see her fully. That's why every time she draws near,
she lingers just outside your line of sight, behind your shoulder, at the foot of your bed, in the corner of your mirror where reflections distort. She waits for you to feel her before you see her. She prays you will listen to the instinct that tells you to keep your gaze soft, indirect, unfocused, because if you look directly at her face, if your human eyes meet the full truth of what she is, something inside you will awaken too fast, too violently, too completely. The part of your soul tied to her realm will snap wide open, and your body, your fragile, earthly body, will struggle to handle the surge. She's not hiding her face out of shame, she's hiding it out of mercy, because her features aren't fixed like yours. They shift with the frequency of her realm. They carry memories, lights, shadows, entire histories embedded in the angles of her form. Her eyes alone contain pieces of a world sealed for centuries. And if you lock eyes with her, that world will lock onto you. She knows you want to see her. She feels the longing every time she approaches. She hears the quiet thought in your chest whispering, "Just show me who you are." But she also feels the tremor in your spirit, the hesitation, the quiet fear that you can't explain, the primal intuition that tells you some truths must be absorbed slowly. When you were a child, she let you see more of her than she should have. Children can handle what adults cannot, but even then, she turned her head slightly, dimmed her presence, and softened her edges so you wouldn't imprint too deeply. Now that you're older, your sight carries consequences. One look at her real face, and every spiritual gift inside you would ignite at once. Visions, memories, energies you aren't trained to navigate. You would see your past lives, your original form, your true name carved into the fabric of her realm. You would see why the realm closed, and you would see the thing she's been protecting you from since your first breath. That's why she begs you, even if you've never heard the words out loud, to keep your eyes down when she approaches, not in submission, in protection. She knows the moment is coming when you will see her fully, when you'll need to, when the truth can no longer be delayed. But she's trying to buy you time. She's trying to give your body a chance to strengthen, your spirit a chance to expand, your mind a chance to brace itself for the weight of recognition. Because when you finally look at her face, chosen one, you won't just see her, you'll see you. The version of you that never made it to this world. The version of you that stayed in hers. The version of you she's been guarding all this time. When that moment comes, everything changes, and she knows there's no going back from it. You've always wondered why people stared at your hands longer than they should, why certain lines seemed deeper than others your age, why some marks appeared suddenly as if drawn by light instead of time. Those weren't coincidences. Those weren't random creases. Your hands have been holding a map since the day you were born, a map your earthly eyes can't decipher, but your half-sister can read as clearly as a doorway standing open. Every line on your palms, every curve, every cross, every faint pattern that you assumed was normal skin texture is actually a blueprint. Not a map of a place you've been, but a place you once belonged to, a place you're being called back toward, a place she's been trying to guide you to without overwhelming you. The map isn't drawn in ink, it's drawn in frequency, vibrating faintly beneath your skin like a whisper waiting to be heard. Sometimes you felt it, those tingles in your fingertips for no reason, that sudden heat in your palms when you're alone, the sensation that your hands are remembering something your mind forgot. Those were activations, little reminders that the map is not dormant. It's waking. Your half-sister has seen this map for years. She saw it the night you were born, when she appeared in the room just long enough to glimpse your palms before the veil pulled her back. She saw it again when you were a child and reached out toward the corner where she stood, your tiny hand glowing faintly with a warmth you thought was imagination. She recognized the patterns instantly because they matched the architecture of her realm. the same realm that sealed itself off, the same realm that now trembles, the same realm that whispers for you in dreams. She doesn't follow you because she is lost. She follows you because you hold the only path home. You don't carry a map to guide yourself. You carry a map that guides her. Without you, she cannot return safely. Without you, the sealed realm stays fragmented. Without you, the opening would collapse the moment she steps through. You are the stabilizer, the anchor, the compass. She's tried before to show you the meaning of your hands. In dreams, she traced the lines with light. In moments of déjà vu, she pressed a memory into your fingers. In childhood, she guided your hands to draw symbols you didn't understand. You always thought you were doodling. You weren't. You were rewriting fragments of the map in case the markings on your skin ever shifted, as they sometimes do when your destiny shifts. And lately, haven't you noticed new lines forming? New warmth, new pulses beneath the skin that don't match a heartbeat? That's the map rearranging itself, preparing, aligning with the moment she steps through fully. She doesn't need machines, she doesn't need instructions. She needs you, because your hands, your human hands, are the only ones capable of holding a path her realm will obey. The map is a live, chosen one, and soon she will take your hands in hers, not to lead you, but to follow you.
The truth has been circling you for years, chosen one, appearing in dreams, in sudden bursts of intuition, in the hollow feeling that washes through your chest whenever you sense her presence too strongly. You felt it even if you refused to name it. This connection was never meant to end with both of you standing in the same world. The map in your hands, the realm calling from the other side, the angelic silence surrounding your life. They've all been pointing to the same devastating truth. One of you has to go back. The veil can't hold two beings anchored to opposite dimensions without consequence. Reality bends around you two like a strained bridge, trying to stabilize something it wasn't designed to carry. That's why the lights flicker when she's near. That's why your dreams shake like they're struggling to stay stitched together. That's why the seal on her realm, a seal that has held for centuries, is cracking faster now than divine law intended. The universe is asking for balance, a trade, a return, and destiny, in its cruel, ancient wisdom, whispers that the choice will fall to you. She knows this. She's known longer than you have. Every time she stepped into your world, she carried the weight of that truth. That's why she never showed her full face. Why she lingered in corners instead of standing before you. Why she vanished the moment your energy weakened. She wasn't afraid of you. She was afraid you'd see her sorrow. Afraid you'd notice the guilt shimmering in the shape of her shadow. Afraid you'd realize she came not just out of love, but out of obligation. Her realm can't reopen unless one of its marked souls returns. And you, chosen one, are one of those marked souls. You always have been. Your life here was temporary, a mission, a placement, a divergence from the destiny you were originally meant to live. You weren't stolen from her realm, you were sent. And now, the realm wants you back, or it wants her back. It doesn't care which. It only demands restoration. But she does care, deeply, desperately. She would rather shatter than watch you be pulled away from the world you've grown into, the world that shaped your memories, your struggles, your victories, your wounds. She's seen your laughter, your tears, your resilience. She has watched you fall and rise and fall again, each time choosing light in a world that rarely gives it. And she knows this earth needs you. That's why she's been stalling the inevitable. That's why she stepped through earlier than she should have, hoping she could find another way, hoping she could hold the realm together on her own strength, hoping destiny could be rewritten through sheer will. But destiny does not bend easily, and the moment approaches where the veil will force its correction. One of you will be called back. One of you will remain,
One of you will return to the realm that sealed itself shut. And chosen one. She's already decided who she wants that to be. The moment you've been sensing your entire life is no longer approaching. It's here. The air around you has shifted, thickened, humming with a frequency you've only ever heard in your dreams. The veil isn't just thinning, it's parting, opening like a trembling wound between worlds, pulling you and your half-sister into a space where time has no edges and truth has no mercy. She stands there, not fully formed, not fully shadow, her presence flickering between this realm and the one that birthed her. And for the first time, she lets you see the sorrow she's been hiding. Her face finally lifts, not to reveal herself, but to reveal her choice. She wants to go back, not because she wants to leave you, but because she refuses to let you bear the cost of returning. She has been preparing for this moment since the night she watched you sleep in your crib, since the night she whispered your true name across the veil, since the night your map awakened in your hands. She believes her role is to return home so you can stay here, human, grounded, safe. But destiny doesn't run on belief. Destiny runs on alignment. And the truth hits you like a pulse of light. The realm will not accept her alone. It calls for the one with the blueprint, the one with the map, the one whose presence originally caused the seal to tremble. It calls for you. She knows it. You feel it. Heaven watches silently, unable to intervene. The universe holds its breath. You feel your chest tighten, not in fear, but in recognition. Every strange moment of your life begins to align like stars forming a constellation. The footsteps behind you, the name in the mirror, the dreams you tried to seal, the whisper that paused your heart, the marks on your hands that no doctor could explain. All of it was leading you here. You weren't being haunted, you were being prepared, not for a reunion, but for a decision. A decision between the world that raised you and the realm that claims you. Between the people who know your earthly name and the being who knows your true one. Between staying human and becoming what you were before flesh. Your half-sister takes your hand, warm, trembling, barely stable in this reality, and you feel a surge of memory, like 1,000 forgotten lifetimes rushing back to meet you. You see the realm she came from, vast, luminous, alive in ways Earth could never contain. You feel the pull of it in your bones, in your blood, in the map etched into your palms. It feels like going home, but you also feel the weight of this world, the laughter you've shared, the pain you've survived, the people who still need your light. And suddenly, the choice doesn't feel like destiny's demand, it feels like destiny's test. She looks at you, fully, vulnerably for the first time, and whispers without speaking, "Choose." Not because she wants you to leave, but because she loves you enough to let you decide your fate. And in that moment, chosen one, the entire universe bends toward your answer. Two realms wait, two futures tremble, two destinies hang in your hands. The world holds its breath.
If you have come this far, it is crucial that you watch this next video here. But be warned, it is not for the faint of heart, for only the true chosen ones can handle this video. If you would like to also donate to help keep the channel going, our Buy Me a Coffee link will be in the description.